I have nothing to hide, said Kay. But first of all, I want to draw your attention to something. Clam forgets immediately, you say. Now, in the first place, that seems very improbable to me. And secondly, it's indemonstrable, obviously nothing more than legend, thought out, moreover, by the flapperish minds of those who have been in Clam's favour. I'm surprised that you believe in such banal invention. It's no legend, said the landlady. It's much rather the result of general experience. I see. A thing then to be refuted by further experience, said Kay. Besides, there's another distinction still between your case and Frieda's. In Frieda's case, it didn't happen that Clam never summoned her again. On the contrary, he summoned her, but she didn't obey. It's even possible that he's still waiting for her. The landlady remained silent and only looked up at Kay. Up and down with a considering stare. At last she said, I'll try to listen quietly to what you have to say. Speak frankly and don't spare my feelings. I've only one request. Don't use Clam's name. Call him or something, but don't mention him by name. Willingly, replied Kay. But what I want from him is difficult to express. Firstly, I want to see him at close quarters. Then I want to hear his voice. Then I want to get from him what his attitude is to our marriage. What I shall ask from him after that depends on the outcome of our interview. Lots of things may come up in the course of talking, but still the most important thing for me is to be confronted with him. You see, I haven't yet spoken with a real official. That seems to be more difficult to manage than I had thought. But now I'm put under the obligation of speaking to him as a private person. And that, in my opinion, is much easier to bring about. As an official, I can only speak to him in his bureau in the castle, which may be inaccessible, or, and that is questionable too, in the Herrenhof. But as a private person, I can speak to him anywhere, in a house, in the street, wherever I happen to meet him. If I should find the official in front of me, then I would be glad to accost him as well. But that's not my primary object. Right, said the landlady, pressing her face into the pillows as if she were uttering something shameful. If by using my influence I can manage to get your request for an interview passed on to Clam, promise me to do nothing on your own account until the reply comes back. I can't promise that, said Kay. Glad as I would be to fulfill your wishes or your whims, the matter is urgent. You see, especially after the unfortunate outcome of my talk with the superintendent. That excuse falls to the ground, said the landlady. The superintendent is a person of no importance. Haven't you found that out? He couldn't remain another day in his post if it weren't for his wife, who runs everything. Mizzy? Asked Kay. The landlady nodded. She was present, said Kay. Did she express her opinion? Asked the landlady. No, replied Kay. But I didn't get the impression that she could. There, said the landlady. You see how distorted your view of everything here is. In any case, the superintendent's arrangements for you are of no importance, and I'll talk to his wife when I have time. And if I promise now, in addition, that Clam's answer will come in a week at latest, you can't surely have any further grounds for not obliging me. All that is not enough to influence me, said Kay. My decision is made, and I would try to carry it out even an unfavorable answer were to come. And seeing that this is my fixed intention, I can't very well ask for an interview beforehand. A thing that would remain a daring attempt, but still an attempt in good faith, so long as I didn't ask for an interview, would turn into an open transgression of the law after receiving an unfavorable answer. That, frankly, would be far worse. Worse? Said the landlady. It's a transgression of the law in any case. And now you can do what you like. Reach me over my skirt. Without paying any regard to Kay's presence, she pulled on her skirt and hurried into the kitchen. For a long time already, Kay had been hearing noises in the dining room. There was a tapping on the kitchen hatch. The assistants had unfastened it and were shouting that they were hungry. Then other faces appeared at it. One could even hear a subdued song being chanted by several voices. Undeniably, Kay's conversation with the landlady had greatly delayed the cooking of the midday meal. It was not ready yet, and the customers had assembled. Nevertheless, nobody had dared to set foot in the kitchen after the landlady's order. But now, when the observers at the hatch reported that the landlady was coming, the maids immediately ran back to the kitchen, and as Kay entered the dining room, a surprisingly large company, more than 20 men and women, all attired in provincial but not rustic clothes, streamed back from the hatch to the tables to make sure of their seats. Only at one little table in the corner were a married couple, seated already with a few children. The man, a kindly blue-eyed person with disordered grey hair and a beard, stood bent over the children, and with a knife beat time to their singing, which he perpetually strove to soften. Perhaps he was trying to make them forget their hunger by singing. The landlady threw a few indifferent words of apology to her customers. Nobody complained of her conduct. She looked around for the landlord, who had fled from the difficulty of the situation long ago. Then she went slowly into the kitchen. She did not take any more notice of Kay, who'd hurried to Frieda in her room.